Nick Wilson with Dan Brownlie after a 3-2 win over Uxbridge. And Dan, it's another win, it's 3 more points on the board. But how do you sum up the performance as a whole? Are you happy or not?
We're happy with the result, certainly. Scoring 3 goals against Uxbridge at any one time is good. We said before the game, I think they've only lost 2 games by more than a solitary goal. So we know it's always going to be close quarters with them, and as have our games been historically, 2-1, 2-1, 1-1, I think it's been. So it's always a tough game. But we said in the change room there, I think we've let ourselves down a little bit today, and that's not wanting to take anything away from Uxbridge's performance, because I think in the large part I thought they did well. I thought Kenzie Loney was probably the best player on the park, and I just felt we were a little bit lapsed, and we took the 3 goals really well through Brodie's good work, and there were some really good team moves there. But we reminded the boys at half time the job's never done, particularly in this league. The job's never done until the final whistle goes. And I just think we took our foot off the pedal. I think we sat a little bit too deep for my liking. And I said to the boys at half time, like, when you're sat deep, which is not really what we wanted, but if you're going to do that, you've got to be tight, you've got to be narrow. But we were deep and wide, so we were kind of playing into their hands a little bit. But as we also said, a win is a win, and at this stage of the season, playing poorly or playing probably below our standard, and still managing to capture another 3 points is really promising. So on the whole, an okay performance, but 3 points in a very good direction.
The big story will be Brodie Pitt coming in for George Reid and getting a hat-trick in the first half. What a moment for him.
Yeah, look, Brodie's been knocking on the door. I have to admit, there's a lot of talk of Brodie at the minute. There has been all season, because of his age and his quality and stature, size, pace. Like, he's got everything you want in a footballer, and he's been patient, the kid. There's obviously, I don't think there's no secret that he's been out on trials and stuff like that, and that is deserving. And I think since the Tooting and Mitcham game, where he scored his 2 goals down here, I think it's just been a light bulb moment with him, and you see it in training now, and he's front foot and he's aggressive and he wants to win the ball, and he wants to step into play. I think he's been guilty in the past of being a little bit passive, but he's certainly not that now. And he's taken 3 really well worked goals. They're not particularly the greatest finishes, but they don't have to be as long as they hit the back of the net. He was in the right position at the right time and was calm and composed to do it. He has got still bits to learn, there's no doubt about it. There was just in terms of game management and know when to go at players, when to sit in, when to go in the corners and stuff like that. But on the large, like, he's for the age of him, he's done brilliantly well today, as he has all season. It's just he's in a very unfortunate position that he's playing. He's trying to get into a team where we've probably got 2 of our most consistent performers in terms of attacking threat.
And George Reid is one of those. He's having a great season himself. He misses 1 game. Have you now got a big decision to make next week?
Yeah, look, there's a big decision every week. Like, I've got 11 best mates come 3 o'clock, an old saying, but it's true. And there's no easy decisions to be made. Like, we spend the majority of Thursday night, like, in the change rooms, me, Boards, Words, Aaron, and the rest of the team, rest of the management team, going through the different setups that we could do, what we think is going to be most effective for us based on what we're doing, based on the team we've got available and who we're up against. And you can go around the room and there's 4 or 5 different team sheets that we're putting together. The beauty of it at the moment is that it's very hard to make a wrong decision because all the boys are performing. I thought today we were a little lacklustre, but I don't necessarily think there's going to be a knee-jerk reaction to that. I think we can be like, sometimes with the performance that we've put in on, I think sometimes when you drop your level a bit, it stands out a little bit more. But I'm sure the fans will be forgiving of a lesser performance and still 3 points. So there's headaches every week. Like James Clark being on the bench. I mean, today you look round and you've got Clarkey, Dre, Smarty, people, Stephen Brown, people like that looking back at you. It's brilliant. Ben Mason still to come back in. You've got Donny that was out today. Michael getting a good 45 minutes again. So there's a lot to like. There's no easy decisions, I'm afraid. It's not based on Reedy and Brodie. It's across the park.
I mean, 2 teams going pretty much neck and neck for the title in the situation we're in. Are you thinking goal difference? Is that coming into your mind at all?
I guess it's a factor, yeah. I don't think there's going to be a moment, certainly over the course of the next few games, where we start going, okay, let's open ourselves up a little bit to score more goals. Like, we're always determined to try and get clean sheets, and I think that's probably the more disappointing factor of today, like losing what should have been, we believe, 5 clean sheets in a row, which would have been a real testament to the quality that the back 4 have been doing. But yeah, it comes into it. It works out as an extra point in the end, and Walton are a terrific attacking, free scoring team, and so are we. So hopefully we can maintain that our levels and have that advantage going into the end of the season. But yeah, it's a factor, but I don't think it's a factor that we're concerned ourselves too much. Like we're in the driving seat. As long as we keep doing what we're doing and our jobs, then hopefully it won't come down to that in the first place.
And next week it's Hamworth Villa, who have put themselves in the lead for that final playoff place at the moment. That's going to be a really tough game coming at the stage.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I said it all last week in the interview, thinking we were playing them. So I'm mucked up of that. But it's the same sentiment. We know all about Hamworth. When we were down there last time, I think we put on one of our performances of the season, particularly on an away fixture. I think we won 4-0 and we played some really, really good football. But Hamworth are a terrific side. They're robust, they're difficult to beat, they've got size, they've got power, they've got pace, they've got very good defenders. So we're going to be up against it, as we have been today, as we have been last week. There's no easy rides in this league. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. Back at home again as well, which is, I think, an advantage this year. I think if you looked last year, it wouldn't have been. But I do think it's an advantage being at home these days. So yeah, we'll go toe to toe with them and hope we can put on a better performance than that. And if we can do, we've got every chance of having a positive result. But we certainly won't be taking Hamworth lightly, and they're in a playoff spot for a reason. And I've had a bit of a maths look up at the league last week, and I believe that they'll win a spot. Yeah, it's going to be a very tough game, but we're excited about that. It's a game we want to play in. It's a game we're looking forward to, and hopefully we can come away with 3 points.
Thank you very much, Dan. Cheers.
Cheers.